Now let's come to these contemporary global concerns. हाँ, so यहाँ पे अभी we'll start with democracy first. Let's have an overview of democracy एक एक करके. अब देखो इस टॉपिक को पहले करना कैसे है, समझना कैसे है. Now democracy is already we've done in paper 1A. Yes or no? How we have to understand democracy now? First of all, for paper 2A, right? Democracy के साथ first theory or keyword that comes to your mind. Very good. Democratic peace theory. What does it say? That the democracies don't go for a war. Okay, so that is one. So here there are few dimensions I can add to it. Point is, democratic peace theory, if you remember that whole article that we had understood, it also has some challenges. If you put democracy in a society which is already fractured, would it help? Yes, nahi? Okay, so then it will lead to even multiple challenges. That is also an issue, right? So in this democracy वाला part, what you can write and what we can understand, पहले तो theory के साथ समझोगे. What does realists talk about democracies? Liberals will give more value to institutions. That is why Michael Doyle comes with democratic peace theory. Second, we will also again examine, ये question हम already जैसे हमने देखा ना, what are the challenges to liberal world order? Same है यहाँ पे, what are the challenges to the democratic world order? Examples of military coup rising, examples of the democratic backsliding, for example Myanmar, Bangladesh, all of these examples, democracy and how to safeguard it. And on this front many scholars have given different views. In fact, तो दो तीन डायमेंशन है. एक अगर आपने देखा from an institutional level, from national level, national means at a country level, इसके लिए क्या लिख सकते हो? At a national level, democratic peace theory. At an institutional level, the bigger issue is that democratic institutions don't have democratic norms. Yeah, they don't follow democratic norms. Can we say this? हाँ ना? Give me examples of which institutions that don't follow democratic norms. UN, the veto, Security Council. Can we say this? तो इस तरह से you can imagine the democracy. Okay, so again our point is you have to again take this into account and then of course you can move forward with it, right? That is one. Now write the heading democracy. इसी में just basic points, all that you can need to know to write a very good answer. We will be focusing on that. ठीक है, डेमोक्रेसी लिखते हैं एंड लेट्स अगेन एनालाइज द डेमोक्रेटिक पार्ट्स हियर. सबसे पहले तो अगेन द थ्योरेटिकल फ्रेमवर्क विल राइट एंड देन विल गो टू डिबेट्स. एंड यहां पे ना एक बार इस टॉपिक को आप यहां पे कर लोगे, योर माइंड विल बी ओपन टू डेमोक्रेसी. डेमोक्रेसी इज अ वेरी वाइड. ओके, अब सबसे पहला लिखेंगे यहां पे थ्योरीज. इन दैट फर्स्ट इज डेमोक्रेटिक पीस थ्योरी supported by Doyle. Supported Doyle in fact was influenced by Kant. Kant work of perpetual peace, if you remember. इसी तरह से आप you can just make it. So write Michael Doyle. Now just one line each you write. For Kant, write Kant will लिखो, if the entire world comprises of constitutional governments, Kant में you can write, if the entire world comprises of constitutional governments, there shall be perpetual peace. There shall be perpetual peace. Yes or no? Kant के if the entire world comprises of constitutional governments, there shall be perpetual peace. Next, you can write Tocqueville, Alex D. Tocqueville. Tocqueville का भी similar statement है, you can write democratic countries are very less likely to wage wars. Alex D. Tocqueville, democratic countries are very less likely to wage wars. Next, Michael Doyle, तो already we have seen democratic peace theory. इसका क्या idea है? That the countries which are democracies, they have similar cultures, norms, which is why they don't go for wars. Already इसका write up हम already कर चुके हैं. So the criticisms of DPT etc. is also something embedded in this topic. That is one part. The moment you see democracy, the best theory to prove is democratic peace theory. That is one example. Okay. Now, second thing that we'll see is what are the debates in democracies. Then we'll go to democracy in 21st century and then we'll see contemporary challenges. सबसे बड़ा debate in democracy, the debate of Lee Kuan Yew and Amartya Sen. इसमें just write a very important statement of Lee Kuan Yew, direct quote है इनका, उसके बाद I'll explain this to you. In fact, see, sentiment क्या है Lee Kuan Yew and Sen में? What is the sentiment? So Lee Kuan Yew is simply saying democracy is not good, you should go for authoritarian rules for have better development. तो इस डिबेट में क्या है? What is the debate about? Democracy versus development versus है. Sen will say democracy and development. These two are not fighting. Right? Lee Kuan Yew's quote, बहुत powerful quote है, and this quote now you can also use in paper 1A. Right? The exuberance of democracy, leads to undisciplined and disorderly conditions, which are inimical. Inimical means not conducive. Inimical to development. The exuberance of democracy, if possible, इसको almost similar तरह से लिख के आना. The exuberance of democracy leads to undisciplined and disorderly conditions which are inimical to development. Right? Right? He gives preference to Asian values. Asian values, bracket में लिखो. Asian values में bracket में लिखो. Collectivism, community before individual. Collectivism, comma, community before individual, comma, duties before rights, and respect towards authority. These are the four main tenets of Asian values. So collectivism, next was community or individual, then duties before rights, and the last one was respect for authority. Right? Right? Therefore, he, don't write Lee Kuan Yew फिर से, therefore he says democracy cannot take roots in Asia. democracy cannot takes roots in Asia. अब इसका करते हैं काउंटर. Let's counter this. So first is Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen says, number one, there is no uniformity in Asian values. There is no uniformity in Asian values, right? And Amartya Sen says, Sen says, democracy and development are complementary. They are complementary if a state adopts capacity building approach. If a state adopts capacity building approach. अब थोड़ा सा चैलेंजिंग नेम है एक और, but this is also a counter to this. So write Li Teng Hui. Li Teng Hui. He was the ex-Taiwanese president. Okay, Li लिख लो ब्रैकेट में, that is why it is important. Ex-Taiwan president. अब सोचो, what he will say against Asian values will be very important. And many of us don't know multiple perspectives of Asian values. At max हमने क्या सुना होगा? Let's say Lee Kuan Yew and Mahathir Mohamad. What will link? आपके हिसाब से what would he say? Think Taiwan and think China. You can almost guess what he's going to say. He will be pro-democracy. Fine. So what he will say, Asian values is an excuse to suppress human rights and dissent. Simple. Yes or no? Because he will talk about autonomy. So his view is then very important to counter. So right? Asian values is a double speak. Double speak is simply a case of that, hypocrisy. Asian values is a double speak for democracy. Sorry, is a double speak for suppressing human rights and civil liberties. We are abhi doing the topic of this last topic at 2A ka, democracy. So there are 6 subtopics here. ठीक है? So we have seen what is the debate. देखो पहले क्या theory देखी, democratic peace theory, Michael Doyle. We've seen the same part supported by Immanuel Kant through perpetual peace. We've also seen Alex de Tocqueville. This is simply a theoretical justification of how democracies don't go for a war. But हम इसका counter जानते हैं. What is the counter? That there is no guarantee that democracies can have peace. What is the counter? एक example बताओ. Can democracies go for a war? What is the example? So at least that example you can also give. And second, again counter example, that it is no guarantee that non-democracies will go for a war. Non-democracies can also have peace. Yes also. So this part we've already seen, haven't we? बताओ. We have seen that. Second is the debate in democracy. This paper, same thing, 2A, 1MA में पढ़ते हम लोग. What is the debate of democracy? Number one, whether democracy and development, can they go hand in hand? So same debate, Lee Kuan Yew, Mahathir Mohamad, they gave the concept of Asian values. Right? We saw the very powerful statement of Lee Kuan Yew. What was the statement, batao? The exuberance of democracy leads to undisciplined disorder, which is inimical to development. So his view is that for a society like Asia, he supports Asian values. Asian values will have generally 4 features like collectivism, so community over self, duties over rights, and command for authority. Right? And sorry, respect for authority, which means this is against. So again, his view of Singapore and again Mahathir Mohamad, what they had mentioned, that democracy is a roadblock to development. These people supported authoritarian structures. This view is countered by Amartya Sen and Lee Teng-hui is the ex-Taiwanese president. What did Amartya Sen say? Development and democracy are complementary provided the states go for capacity building approach, right? And second, he says that Amartya Sen, there is no uniformity in Asian values. इंडिया के लिए एशियन वैल्यूज कुछ और हो सकती हैं, मलेशिया के लिए कुछ और, फॉर सम कंट्रीज ऑफ आसियान समथिंग एल्स. सो अगेन द क्रिटिसिज्म दैट ह्यूमन राइट्स गेट्स, याद है व्हाट इज द क्रिटिसिज्म फॉर ह्यूमन राइट्स? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, हु इज अ ह्यूमन, व्हाट ऑल राइट्स शुड बी गिवन, वेयर डज लाइफ स्टार्ट? Because the criticism of human rights is that it is universal imposition to every country, which is why communitarians, multiculturalists reject that claim. Yes or no? So, and what does Lee Teng-hui say? Abhi likha humne. Yes, Lee Teng-hui says that Asian values is a double speak for suppressing human rights and civil liberties. Yes or no? कह सकते हैं? Now, another dimension that we have to add here is then democracy in 21st century. अब यहां में एग्जामिन करना पड़ेगा. Of course, we have to know the positives of democracy, but also know the challenges the democracy is facing in 21st century, including the recent rise of military coup. चाहे वो अफ्रीका में हो, चाहे हमारे बॉर्डर्स के पास, of course, in Bangladesh, we say terms like democratic backsliding. यहां पे we'll also quote The Economist magazine comes with a very famous report, okay, on the democracies of the world. उसको भी लिखेंगे अभी. But before that, what are the positives of democracy in 21st century? All the positives that you can think of international liberal order. क्या क्या होंगे? What will democracies help in? Cooperation, peace, हर एक जो points which liberal values stand for. So norms, institutions. Because ultimately the liberal institutionalism, if you see the approach, started with League of Nations, Woodrow Wilson, and now UN, you will just write the positive points. जैसे कि peace, stability, rules-based order, okay, then convergence on shared vision. हर एक पॉइंट पे अगेन वी कैन हैव एग्जांपल्स. फॉर एग्जांपल, व्हेन आई से रूल्स बेस्ड ऑर्डर, व्हिच इज व्हाई डेमोक्रेसीज लाइक यूएसए, इंडिया converge on the idea of Indo-Pacific. India, Japan converge on the shared vision of prosperity in the Asia, and they go against the rise of authoritarian China. Can we say this? Right? So there is a convergence, there is peace and stability, there is rules based order, shared vision, prosperity, all of that in this part of democracy. Yes or no? So इसके लिए just write one line. उसके बाद we'll see a lot of contemporary challenges. Okay, right? In the post-Cold War era, there is a new wave of democracy. There's a new wave of democracy. With greater horizontal proliferation. New wave of democracy with a greater horizontal proliferation, and with strengthening of political institutions. Strengthening of political institutions and other keywords etc. now you can add. This not needs to be explained. Question जो आएगा democracy पे, contemporary question, that will be more on the challenges they face. Okay? Now come to challenges. अब challenges में first of all, one challenge is of course by Lee Kuan Yew, same hypothesis. Okay? In democracy, one person that you cannot ignore is David Held. I'll tell you what he says. David Held says that in democracies, in a democratic world order, right now the issue is undemocratic institutions. The failure of multilateral order के लिए सबसे best person है David Held, to quote. Right? So in these may just write on a couple of keywords here, the convergence, be it Indo-Pacific, etc. This I don't need to explain too much, but I will explain the challenges the democracies are facing. Okay, so write down the challenges the democracies are facing. अब इसमें काफी examples हैं, including the very own US and Trump, right? As a challenge, we'll also see that. So पहला issue, first point in the challenges you can write. The liberal democratic model is criticized by Asian states, full stop. The failure of, या इससे बेटर लिखो, the global financial crisis of 2008, the global financial crisis of 2008 has led to calls for, Beijing consensus over Washington consensus. We know what is Washington consensus? Neoliberal word order में याद करो, John Williamson's 11 points. There is a Asian state से क्या call हो रहा है? Beijing consensus. If you remember the topic 8 we had done, उसमें याद आ रहा है easternization of global finance, BRICS का de-dollarization, new currency, NDB, CRA, yes or no? So BRICS and other alternate institutions are coming against the Bretton Woods institutions. This is also a topic in paper, topic 8, ये हमने कर रखा है अच्छे से, ठीक है? So first challenge is coming from the Asian countries to democracy. Number one. Second, right? Cosmopolitan scholars like David Held, argue that there is a democratic deficit. ये बहुत common point है, हर जगह use हो सकता है. There is a democratic deficit in institutions like WTO, that is World Trade Organization, IMF and World Bank. And a similar view is also, we have quoted Joseph Stiglitz at least 10 times in our classes in different contexts. So right, Joseph Stiglitz, what is the name of his book that we quote? Satyam, आप बताएंगे. Globalization and its discontents. कितनी बार लिखी है हमने? Joseph Stiglitz in Globalization and its Discontents argues that WTO undermines democratic plurality, क्योंकि थीम है टॉपिक की डेमोक्रेसी. It undermines democratic plurality as it forces a consensus based approach. Right? In fact, अगर हम institutions की बात करें, you can also give the example of UNSC. UNSC's veto power is criticized for being the most undemocratic element of an institution which is supposed to protect the democracies. UNSC की जो veto power है, it is said to be the most undemocratic element. क्यों? 4:1 भी है, तो भी आप हार जाओगे. If one country vetoes 4:1, you will lose. Yes? अब यहां पे जो मैं रिपोर्ट लिख रहा हूं ना, ये रिपोर्ट इस टॉपिक में भी यूज कर सकते हैं. द मोस्ट फेमस रिपोर्ट इन डेमोक्रेसीज इज बाय इकोनॉमिस्ट मैगजीन. सो राइट, इकोनॉमिस्ट मैगजीन की रिपोर्ट, एंड दिस रिपोर्ट जनरली विल से every year there is democratic backsliding going on. So right, Economist magazine's democracy index put a dash and write increase in democratic backsliding. और इसको कैसे लिख सकते हो? इस रिपोर्ट में there are many pillars for which will tell you how democracy is going down, which is a very powerful argument to quote in negative. ठीक है, one of the very influential papers or magazines you can say. So we are quoting, and I'm quoting the Economist Global Democracy Index of 2024. Okay, so first point लिखेंगे इसमें. There are couple of points you can write. बहुत ही current based है. जैसे अभी हमने लिखा था ना APEC में, what was the vision we saw in APEC? अभी क्या पढ़ा है APEC में? APEC. नहीं, 2040 is right, but what is the full name? No. Putrajaya Vision 2040. The next 20 years of goals for APEC is Putrajaya Vision 2040. हर institution पे we are doing some current element. So for democracy, this is your current update, right? Right? In 2024, only 71 countries were classified as democracies. In 2024, only 71 countries were classified as democracies. Bracket में down by 3 from 2023. नहीं, in 2024 there are 71. Compared to 2023, उसमें 3 ज़्यादा थे, अब 3 कम हो गए हैं. So down by 3 from 2023. First thing. Second, the name of the report is the Global Democracy Index by EIU, Economist Intelligence Unit. Economist भी लिखोगे उतना काफी है, बहुत prominent report है. Right? अब इसमें लिखो just 6.6% of world population, और ये फैक्ट्स आपके जीएस के आंसर कहीं और भी यूज कर सकते हैं. दीज आर स्ट्रॉन्ग फैक्ट्स. जस्ट 6.6% ऑफ वर्ल्ड्स पॉपुलेशन लिव्स इन अ फुल डेमोक्रेसी. लिव्स इन अ फुल डेमोक्रेसी. while nearly 40% is governed by authoritarian regimes. थर्ड पॉइंट इज ऑल्सो लिंक्ड. एक हमारा टॉपिक है ना इसमें कंटेम्प्रेरी में ह्यूमन राइट्स, उसी से लिंक्ड है नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इस ये वाला पॉइंट. राइट? द शार्पेस्ट डिक्लाइन हैज बीन सीन इन सिविल लिबर्टीज एंड इलेक्टोरल प्रोसेसेस. ड्यू टू increasing restrictions on media, comma, speech and civil society. And last point एक और लिखो. ये point at least हम 3 जगह देख चुके हैं. देखो, rise of populism. If you remember, when I asked you a question, is fascism dead? And what is the future of fascism in 21st century? याद आ रहा है? Then we had also seen in comparative government and politics, we had again seen the rise of right and populism. Now I'm again telling you, right? The rise of populism reflects public disillusionment. It reflects public disillusionment with traditional democratic institutions. अब इसमें फिर से याद करो हमने किन किन लीडर्स की बात करी है. एग्जाम्पल बताओ मुझको. इफ यू हैव टू प्रूव दिस, आई थिंक आई हैव ऑलरेडी गिवन यू 6 or 7 एग्जाम्पल्स फॉर दिस. याद करो. जेन बोल्सोनारो फ्रॉम ब्राजील. फ्रॉम हंगरी, विच एग्जाम्पल? विक्टर ओरबान. नेक्स्ट, मरीन डे ले पेन फ्रॉम फ्रांस. AFD पार्टी ऑल्सो वी हैड सीन एग्जाम्पल. ओके, और कुछ? चलो ट्रम्प को भी एटलीस्ट वी कैन टेक इट, यस. चलो Erdogan etc. in Turkey we can give. So always have some examples handy. Whenever you write a point, just mention at least one example, it will get substantiated. Right? Now, this is a trend overall that you are seeing from a report. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको इकोनॉमिक्स की रिपोर्ट के सारे पॉइंट्स लिखने हैं बैठ के. Some of these points you can use to substantiate. For example, if the question is something that democracy is facing challenges in 21st century, बहुत बार होता है 20 मार्क लिखो बैठ के आप. तो ऐसे क्वेश्चन में you need a lot of examples and points to substantiate that what is the stage of democratic decline. So these are few points from this. Again I am giving you few more points you can write. Democratic decline के अब लिखो सारे contemporary examples. So सबसे पहला लिखेंगे प्रेसिडेंट ट्रम्प्स सेकेंड टर्म. अब सारे एग्जांपल्स है वो सारे अब करंट वाले हैं हमारे, विच यू कैन यूज टू अगेन इन दिस क्वेश्चन, क्योंकि जो लास्ट टॉपिक है हमारा, दिस इज द मोस्ट करंट टॉपिक ऑफ ओल्ड पेपर 2A. ट्रम्प्स सेकेंड टर्म has been marked by increased executive influence, comma, tighter control over agencies, and a disdain is almost a dislike, disdain for norms based democratic order. We already know Trump pulled out of which agreements? ठीक है, अब UNHRC को भी उन्होंने भाई इश्यूज बताए, अगेन इश्यूज ऑफ एंटी इजराइल बायस फॉर यूनेस्को. ओके, देन मूव्ड आउट ऑफ पेरिस एग्रीमेंट. अभी पढ़ा क्या हो, NAFTA has become what? USMCA. And USMCA में just try to recall 5 points we saw. बताओ USMCA क्यों आया and what are the core arguments of USMCA? हाँ, at least 70. Trump said this is the worst trade deal ever. $70 billion deficit with Mexico. Second issue. Now what changes have been done? One is the rules of origin. कि भाई 75% procurement होगा North America based. Because again the issue is China की dumping हो रही है, right? So keep that in mind. So when Trump has come, Trump has made a lot of unilateral changes. In fact, that point also we wrote in this NAFTA, that despite USMCA, Trump has announced tariffs for the products of Canada and Mexico. What will this lead to? नहीं, this will नहीं, वो तो चलो जुलाई में 2026 में there is a review of USMCA. But if you have any unilateral moves, democracy की वो against जाएगा. It is a authoritarian tendency, yes or no? So Trump's unilateral moves, ऐसे लिखूं लास्ट में, Trump's unilateral actions for global institutions, ब्रैकेट में लिख सकते हो UNHRC, UNESCO, Paris Agreement, unilateral moves in global institutions and agreements go against the very liberal democratic order US wanted to preserve. They go against the very liberal democratic order US wanted to preserve. Next point, the rise of autocratic axis, AXIS. The rise of autocratic axis, देखो dash करके, China, North Korea, Russia, Iran, would weaken Western democracy या Western democratic influence. Right? Next point, the increasing military coup, COUP, increasing military coup in Sahel region of Africa, comma, elections overturned in Romania, Georgia, elections overturned in Romania, Georgia, and democratic backsliding seen in Bangladesh and Myanmar are worrying trends. तो बहुत एग्जाम्पल एक ही पॉइंट के अंदर. Right? Next लिखेंगे. In fact, you would have also seen a lot of NGOs, a lot of non-state actors and other institutions are also under attack. Okay? So this is also a global trend that is being seen. Right? So you can write pro-democracy NGOs, pro-democracy NGOs, media, civic groups are under financial and political attack. Are under financial and political attack. इसमें भी again US has cut a lot of funding for a lot of these NGOs. USAID is again said to, it had political ambitions also. In NGOs, let's say for example, even in India for example, there is a very strict scrutiny of NGOs that is going on. Okay, I can give you examples like Amnesty International, even Transparency International is facing issues. Yes, और स्पेशली जो प्रो डेमोक्रेसी है, बिकॉज यहां पे द चैलेंज कैन ऑल्सो बी डेमोक्रेसी कैन बी वेपनाइज्ड. ओके, लास्ट एक और पॉइंट लिखो. दिस इज अभी काफी ब्रॉड पॉइंट है. यू नो दैट द बुश डॉक्ट्राइन एक्सपोर्टिंग डेमोक्रेसी फॉर द ब्रिंक ऑफ अ गन. ठीक, अब इमेजिन करो, चाहे सीरिया हो, चाहे लेट्स से यूएस इन्वेजन ऑफ इराक, it has led to so much discontent that you see the rise of religious fundamentalism, instability in Middle East. Why? Because you wanted to impose democracy on a structure that was undemocratic. तो backlash हो गई. Same issue was also seen in Afghanistan, right? अभी भी there was, of course, Taliban took over. In fact, इससे पहले what did India say? That we want an Afghan-owned, Afghan-controlled peace process. And just after when Taliban had come to power, since I think almost 2-3 years, we never had a talk. But very recently, India has also changed its policy. Now, while of course we have not recognized them as the overall, but India's talks have resumed with Taliban, because we also know that we have some important, substantial investments in the region that we want to secure. Yes or no? ठीक है? तो इसमें लास्ट एक पॉइंट लिख लो. The export of democracy, the export of democracy in undemocratic cultures. Bracket me, you can again write the example of invasion of Iraq, yeah, instability in Middle East. The export of democracy in undemocratic cultures has led to political and social discontent, which finds expression through the rise of proxy wars, and non-state actors through religious fundamentalism. कैसे? हाउ? But actually mill will go opposite. Mill will support even benevolent despotism. इसको support करने के लिए दो लोग को quote कर सकते हो. One is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He exactly said the same thing. And even Fareed Zakaria. हाँ बोलो हाँ. Correct. Correct, but उस view के the other view, the let's say contract is view that sometimes that is why Mill is said to be reluctant Democrat. वो उसका criticism है. इसके लिए जो non controversial अगर आपको लिखना है point, वो है अंबेडकर या फरीद जकारिया. इनफैक्ट फरीद जकारिया वाला पॉइंट हम पहले भी लिख चुके हैं. फरीद जकारिया सेज द राइज ऑफ illiberal democracies. That is his keyword. मिल वाले पॉइंट में एक्चुअली बिकॉज मिल्स पॉइंट वाज यूज्ड एज अ जस्टिफिकेशन ऑफ व्हाइट मैन बर्डन, बेनिवोलेंट डेस्पोटिज्म. अच्छा, राइज ऑफ illiberal democracies, ये हम 2-3 जगह कोट कर चुके हैं अपनी पहले. फरीद जकारिया की बुक याद आ रही है किसी को? That we saw in Decline of US Hegemony. The name was Post American World. Okay. Fareed Zakaria will talk about the rise of illiberal democracies. Is question में again I have told you the question on democratic decline and the question on international liberal decline, there will be a lot of similarities. Here we have not touched upon, but you can equally mention the Marxist critique also, right? That how democracy is simply a facade of the international political elite, and democracy is nothing but the expression of MNCs. Through democracies, they will again, the core and the periphery, the loot, etc. will go on. So, अगर हम इसमें add करें the Marxist angle, for them democracy या promotion of democracy is ideological hegemony. तो इसलिए जब आप देखते हो ना USA wants to promote, तो एक तो USA is promoting it through the rule of a gun. Second, you have institutions like IMF and World Bank. याद करो Robert Cox का Gramscian perspective. Same thing, that the promotion of democracy either through US or through institutions is nothing but ideological export. So even the Marxist point can be added to this. Okay. So in this we've already seen a lot of issues. अब इसमें conclusion के लिए 2-3 points लिख सकते हैं. The same part which Fareed Zakaria says and Dr. Ambedkar says, the same thing Larry Diamond also says. So write Larry Diamond says that political order cannot be changed without changing the social order. Political order cannot be changed without changing the social order. And then overall you can write, this conclusion tries to mix both things. Okay. Right, Martin Wolf. अब इसमें भी again I have told you, if you don't remember the scholar directly, अगर आपने नहीं सुना है, first focus on the argument. Argument is good enough. अगर उसके ऊपर अगर नाम याद हो जाता है तो अच्छी बात है. ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आप नाम नहीं लिखोगे मार्क्स नहीं मिलेंगे. His sentiment is simply that democracy has right now, what was democracy? Rule of by the people, for the people, by the people, and democracy has become the rule of not people but corporates. So you have to change that. अब ये भी क्या है? This is also a Marxist view, right? So right, Martin Wolf argues that the strain between democracy and capitalism is evident. Full stop. To survive in the 21st century, democracy needs to become a rule of many. Democracy needs to become a rule of many and not just the rule of many corporates. Similar point. ठीक है, तो इसमें भी देखो जैसे अगेन आई हैव गिवन यू 3 वेरिएंट्स ऑन पॉलिटिकल एंड सोशल ऑर्डर, उसमें से तीनों में कोई एक याद रख सकते हो, चाहे बी आर अम्बेडकर है. इनफैक्ट बी आर अम्बेडकर, इनफैक्ट इन पेपर 1 we have written the same thing, that constitutionalism should precede constitution or democracy. Same viewpoint. So जहां पे आपके पास diversity of pointers, same dimension पे if there is diversity, you can write what is the most relevant one. Okay? So that is what we are doing for democracy. Now let's come back to human rights. Next topic that we'll see. अब देखो ह्यूमन राइट्स में ऑलरेडी इन पेपर 1A वी कवर दिस. यस, व्हाट डू वी डू देयर? वी सी ऑफ कोर्स, चलो और पीछे अगर जाएं, यू नो लॉक्स थ्योरी ऑफ नेचुरल राइट्स, justification given by Immanuel Kant, and of course the atrocities of World War II. What will this lead to? UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Yes, this is something we have seen. Second thing in human rights, so again एक तो ये बहुत basic है. Second, you remember the Karl Vesak, the different generation of rights, the 3 generation of rights. Okay, because this will help us understand how human rights evolve. In fact, I think in one of our tests, in test 1 में जो पूछा हमने क्वेश्चन आपसे, is that the implementation of human rights depends on the nature of state. Would you agree or would you disagree? Implementation of human rights depends on the nature of state. कैसे प्रूव करोगे इसको? मतलब how would you prove it? और सोचो, if I am saying the changing nature of state, वो भी ठीक है, बट इससे ज्यादा आप पहले सोचो. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, नेचर ऑफ स्टेट मीन्स व्हाट? वेयर आर ह्यूमन राइट्स बेटर इंप्लीमेंटेड, डेवलप्ड और डेवलपिंग? डेवलप्ड. ठीक, डेवलप्ड में क्यों? व्हाई? बिकॉज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द जनरेशन ऑफ राइट्स देयर, दे आर नॉट लिमिटेड ओनली टू लेट्स से यूनिवर्सल अडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज और सफरेज. द नेचर ऑफ राइट्स इज नाउ वेरी ब्रॉड फॉर देम. वन थिंग. सेकेंड, द कैपेसिटी ऑफ स्टेट टू एनफोर्स. जैसे मैंने कैपेसिटी बोला, क्या याद आएगा डेवलपिंग के लिए? गुनार मिडल, सॉफ्ट स्टेट, नंबर 1. Hamza Lavi's overdeveloped state. Asian values, क्या? The Asian values is a double speak for suppressing human rights and civil liberties. So you will see the nature of human rights. तो अगर आप जब आप सोचोगे 2A में ये topic, which is why human rights, you will give examples like Taiwan and other places where there is a huge suppression of human rights that can happen. In fact, for China also, let's say, okay, Taiwan will want to have pro-democracy and again have its own. So human rights, when you see this topic, first understand, because paper 2A में आप start कैसे करते हो? Comparative politics. So number 1 thing is, of course, this is one, but also remember how the rights are getting implemented differs in both developed and developing. For example, in developed countries now there are cases for, अभी जो फाइट चल रही है, प्रो लाइफ एंड प्रो चॉइस, लेट्स से इन केस ऑफ अबॉर्शन, राइट? Whereas in developing countries it is totally different. There's a state is very powerful. So because of that, in fact, we've done this in human rights movements in India, civil liberties movements in India, PUCL, ADR, याद आ रहा है अपने को? तो वो हमने देखा हुआ है. So here main thing is the implementation of human rights is a challenge. Then the contemporary challenge. What are the contemporary issues? अब क्या है ह्यूमन राइट्स के लिए? ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज अ कंटिन्यूअस, वी आर लिविंग इन द एरा ऑफ फॉरएवर वॉर्स. रशिया यूक्रेन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, मिडिल ईस्ट हैविंग अ लॉट ऑफ इंस्टेबिलिटी. नाउ व्हाट विल बी अबाउट द ह्यूमन राइट्स? इनफैक्ट अभी भी वेरी रिसेंटली द होल लेट्स से इकोनॉमिक blockade which happened in Gaza and for the Palestine. So this was regarded as one of the worst atrocities on human rights. the people Rohingyas from Rakhine state. So one of the most persecuted communities of the world. So when we say human rights, the dimensions of this is increasing. Plus, in addition to this on human rights, agar democracy is in decline, so this will also face a challenge. So you'll see a close relation between human rights and democracy, yes or no? So here also similar contemporary challenges honge. Yes. So which means if you don't give up, isliye in this part the refugee crisis becomes an important dimension. Whether should you take them, whether you should not take them. Talking of refugees, we also remember multiculturalists like Will Kimlicka and Bhikhu Parekh, who gave a thick theory and thin theory of multiculturalism. Yaad karo. Will Kimlicka gave thick. Kaise thick hai? So it has to be thin. He was against these people from outside because he's saying refugees had a choice, right? But the minorities in those countries should be given. So Will Kimlicka has a narrow perspective, thin. Bhikhu Parekh says that extended to all the people. So that is why अब देखो हम कौन से schools को लगाने वाले हैं यहाँ पे. So in human rights you have to talk about multiculturalists. You have to talk about communitarians. Yes or no? But what about realists? Realists will say, भाई आपको human rights का सोचना नहीं है. Most important is what? It is state. Morgenthau, international politics and everything is about not the human rights, but is the state's national interest. So here when you write it, again we have to open our mind. In which perspectives we have to write the answer. Is that fine? So here also a couple of lines you can write. पहले लिखेंगे Jack Donnelly. Jack Donnelly in his book, बहुत ही specialized points है वही लिख रहे हैं, बाकी तो understanding you already know from paper 1A. Jack Donnelly, Jack D-O-N-N, sorry मैंने सही नहीं लिखा, D-O-N-N-E-L-L-Y, D-O-N-N-E-L-L-Y, in his book Universal Human Rights in Theory and Practice, defines human rights as equal, सारे keywords हम सुन चुके हैं, comma alienable, permanent, comma universal and continuously evolving. This can be a definition. हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. Article 1 also talks about 5 basic adjectives. Yes. Similar definition of Jack Donnelly is there. Other than that, देखो evolution of human rights हम already कर चुके हैं. The 3 generation of Carol Wesak, वो हम फिर से repeat नहीं कर रहे. But वो you should know when you read this topic. Evolution of human rights, right from Kant to Locke. Okay. Kant again referring to perpetual peace and Locke theory of natural rights. 1A में सवाल क्या आता है? Natural rights and its critique. Who criticizes natural rights? So Hobbes and Bentham, ये इनका है legal perspective. They say natural rights is nonsense upon stilts. It has a terrorizing discourse. Then Edmund Burke, who's a conservative, he will say natural rights नहीं, not of the individual. Rights are society and community specific. ठीक है, वो सारे पढ़ चुके हैं हम. So this अलग से एक छोटी सी heading लिख लेना, evolution of human rights, star mark. This has already been done. I will give you the more contemporary perspective on this from paper 2A. For you, you write human rights vis-a-vis IR. Human rights vis-a-vis IR. इसमें हम देखते हैं सारे. So one will start school by school. First is the realist perspective. इसी तरह से को हम नेशनल इंटरेस्ट, सिक्योरिटी, पावर सारे स्कूल्स के थ्रू देख चुके हैं, ऑल द थ्योरीज. व्हाट विल बी द रियलिस्ट पॉइंट? बिल्कुल. सो जस्ट वन लाइन लिखेंगे, ह्यूमन राइट्स आर सबस्यूम्ड अंडर इन्वर्टेड कॉमास नेशनल इंटरेस्ट. human rights are subsumed under national interest. And full stop. And then of course what has happened, this is the view of classical realism. With time, when you see neo-realism, neoclassical, what they will do over time, right, over time, they have expanded the extent of human rights. Extent of human rights. Then come to liberalism. Now they will have a more accommodative view, and in this liberals also, because they believe in human cooperation. For realists, life is what? Or people are self-interest, egoistical, there's anarchy, you need self-help. Okay, so most important thing is state to secure its national interest. Whereas for liberals, there is still an element of cooperation. So here just one line for liberals you can write. They believe in inalienable natural rights. They believe in inalienable natural rights under a more accommodative state. Under a more accommodative state. Then of course we have social constructivist. वो हर चीज को क्या बोलते हैं? Everything is a social construct. Okay. For example, you heard about Carl Deusch. What was the concept he gave? या Alexander Wendt की बात करें. Carl Deusch ने क्या बताया? Security community, right? So just लिखो इसमें human rights are a social construct, as simple as that. For social constructivist, human rights are a social construct. In fact, if you know, इसमें एक और पॉइंट लिखना आपको याद आ जाएगा. याद करो बैरी बूजा, याद आ रहा है? कोपेनहेगन स्कूल. He says security is a speech act, right? So in fact, now the states will say human rights. The moment states will say human rights, they will securitize the whole issue. Which means you will create a rift between refugees versus your people. क्या बोलोगे आप? Human rights. So same concepts can be used here also, because they also have a similar view on it. Next, post-colonial, because they also face challenges on human rights. Post-colonial perspective. So right, सबसे famous person, you know, Edward Said criticizes the human rights regime to be Eurocentric. Criticizes the human rights regime to be Eurocentric. And says socio-economic rights should be given priority over civil political rights. Civil political rights. ठीक है? These are the few perspectives. Now we come to the contemporary issues overall on human rights. Okay? Contemporary issues में सबसे पहला तो again one issue you'll write is refugee crisis. Refugee crisis, in the bracket you can write pigs countries. अभी हमने देखा pigs countries के issues. What is the issue for pigs countries? So Syria या जो भी है, yes, so as per Dublin regulations in EU, which country is the first? They will have to do all the documentation and verification of refugees. So this becomes a huge challenge. So PIGS countries would have very limited resources. चाहे Portugal हो, Italy है, Greece है, etc. They have limited resources and they are forced to have the most burden, right? So countries like France, they will say very pro-refugee, but उनके पास तो लोग नहीं आ रहे इतने ज़्यादा. Yes, although France, you also know, France will have a lot of ban on all the religious identity markers. French version of secularism is what? Laicite. Okay, that has its own challenges. So refugee crisis, one example I've given you is this PIGS country. Here also you can add the new dimension to it. Climate refugees. हाँ, तुवालू एक्सेट्रा, ये सारे एग्जाम्पल बन सकते हैं. सो एक इशू है यहाँ पे रिफ्यूजीज एंड द परसिक्यूशन दैट दे हैव. एंड देन यू राइट वेरी स्पेसिफिक इज इजराइल हमास, अलग से लिखेंगे. द इजराइल हमास कॉन्फ्लिक्ट लीडिंग टू massive blockades and food insecurity, which is a full blown humanitarian crisis, right? इसलिए अभी भी that particular kind of a stalemate or ceasefire that has happened, ceasefire की one of the precondition is this only, the recent ceasefire between, और वो भी कोई perpetual नहीं, it is only for a very short time. So we'll see how it goes. So refugee हमने लिखा, we have written the Israel because these are contemporary examples. Same also right for Russia, Ukraine. So these are because the region is facing forever wars. Forever wars. Okay? अब जब wars होते हैं, सबसे टफ चीज क्या है, मतलब द बिगेस्ट और द मोस्ट चैलेंजिंग पार्ट व्हेन दिस हैपेंस इज, एंड यू ऑलरेडी नो, आपने सुना होगा R2P, द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू प्रोटेक्ट, यूएन के केस में. अब आप मुझे बताओ, इसमें द डायमेंशन विच ओपन्स अप इज द लेजिटिमेशन ऑफ इंटरवेंशन, बिकॉज देन यू आर ऑल्सो टॉकिंग अबाउट सॉवरेनिटी. सेकेंड, यू आर ऑल्सो टॉकिंग अबाउट ह्यूमन राइट्स, उसको कैसे रिजॉल्व करोगे. एंड देयर हैव बीन इंस्टेंसेस of sometimes forceful invasions also to justify. Yes, third dimension, third point लिखो इसमें, challenge, next point जो भी है अपना, the paradox of humanitarian interventions. The paradox of humanitarian interventions. अब इसमें भी दो व्यू हैं. Jack Donnelly लिखो, Jack Donnelly calls this proactiveness as golden era of human rights. Golden era of human rights. Write down examples. There are many examples of humanitarian interventions. Write some of them. एक तो चलो लिख लो, यूएसए's ऑपरेशन प्रोवाइड कंफर्ट, नाम है ऑपरेशन का, यूएसए's ऑपरेशन प्रोवाइड कंफर्ट ऑन इराक 1991. टू प्रोटेक्ट कुर्द माइनॉरिटीज. नेक्स्ट यू कैन राइट यूएसए's अफगान and Iraq invasions. Okay, so here you can write, पहला view point है, this proactiveness is sometimes appreciated, but what is the issue here? You also legitimize violence. देखो, so paradoxically this legitimizes violence and breaches sovereignty in the disguise of human rights. एक और एग्जांपल लिखो, the war on terror was to restore human rights, but it led to inhumane torture of prisoners in Guantanamo Bay camp. inhumane torture of prisoners in Guantanamo Bay camp. Same इसमें और लिख सकते examples, the whole Syrian या Middle East crisis, same issue, the war on terror. In fact, you also know the weapons of mass destruction. मिले नहीं मिले फिर, and उसके बाद भी that there was no accountability. We also saw the same thing in UN, that UNSC could not hold USA accountable. Guantanamo Bay Camp is the area. आप याद करो हमने एक और चीज करी थी in paper 1B while talking about human rights and civil liberties. I told you that Upendra Bakshi calls this as empowerment disempowerment dialectic. What is that? सबने लिखा हुआ है क्लास में, बताओ what is the meaning of this empowerment disempowerment dialectic. चलो imagine for a country like India, okay, when you empower the state, you empower the state to stop the human rights violation. When the states become too powerful, it will disempower it. Yes or no? So this actually happens so many times. This is empowerment disempowerment dialectic. The more power the state has, ultimately it will turn authoritarian. It will stand up against sometimes the values for which it wants to protect. Can we say this? So this is again a challenge. So the paradox of human interventions you have to highlight. So आप कह रहे हो sedition can also be a way to weaponize it. Any kind of, let's say, criticism, not of the state but even of the government, of anybody, can be politicized. वो तो हम पढ़ते हैं इसमें sedition में in general. ठीक है, एक और लिखो. Next point, human rights are often infringed by the state itself. They are sometimes infringed by the state itself. You can give very prominent examples. One, Rwanda, China में याद है? The Tiananmen Square, 1989. China, Tiananmen Square, Kosovo, Kosovo. All these are examples where the state turned authoritarian. Yes, paradox, because that leads to violence. There are many thinkers, including in fact Kofi Annan will say the same thing, that you can have a better responsibility. In fact, Kofi Annan will talk about responsible sovereignty also. चलो अभी मैं लिखवा दूंगा उसको responsible sovereignty वाले पार्ट पे. So that is one. एक और लास्ट लिख लो. According to Human Rights Watch, issues relating to entry permits, xenophobia, बहुत बार टर्म सुना है हमने ये, xenophobia, and violation of civil and political rights, is rising for the refugees in Western world. It is rising for refugees in the Western world. ठीक है, maybe if you've not written this example, China's treatment of Uyghur Muslims. चाइना के दो एग्जाम्पल, वन इज टाइनमन स्क्वायर, वो थोड़ा पुराना है, नया इज उइगुर मुस्लिम्स. बांग्लादेश वाले भी आ जाएगा, द माइनॉरिटीज बीइंग टारगेटेड इन बांग्लादेश, यू कैन गिव दैट एग्जांपल. तो जहां बांग्लादेश का आएगा वही सेम एग्जांपल आएगा म्यांमार फॉर रोहिंग्याज एंड अ लॉट ऑफ यस जीनोसाइड, पाकिस्तान आल्सो. एंड उसमें क्या आएगा, कैसे लिंक करोगे, यू लिंक इट टू डेमोक्रेटिक बैकस्लाइडिंग. ओके, In fact, आपने एक बहुत famous book, by the way, these people have also now gotten prizes. They wrote a book, I think I'm forgetting the second person, Darren Acemoglu and एक और है. They've co-authored the book Why Nations Fail. Okay, in that book, the main argument, yes, is that countries with powerful institutions, robust institutions, survive, but those who don't have good institutions, they will fail. Which you can also link to democratic backsliding. तो democracy और human rights में आप देख रहे होगे back एक linkage बन रहा है. So when the democracy is backsliding, there is a rise of authoritarian tendencies which leads to suppression of liberties. But in developing societies also, sometimes even when democracy is present, just because the state is very powerful, it can also suppress some of the liberties. That is the main argument. ठीक है? And the last recent trend that you can write is the UN concerns over surveillance, privacy. Because now human rights में अब नया chance है, because every state is becoming powerful. AI policies are coming up, right? So new threat is what? Cyber espionage, right? So then human rights में the new dimension that should be included is your right to privacy. Okay? So UN concerns over surveillance, data rights, and algorithmic bias. Algorithmic bias. Surveillance state बिल्कुल 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 आ सकता है. The new technocratic capitalism, we've seen casino capitalism also. Okay? So technocracy is on the rise, you can say that. Baki, if you remember 1mm ये भी देख चुके हैं, whether terrorists should be considered as humans and should they be given human rights, even this dimension is there. But यहाँ पे अलग से एक टॉपिक है terrorism का, उसमें भी आप सेम चीज आर्ग्यू कर सकते हो. ठीक है? So that is one. Last में you can write overall. Kofi Annan has called for responsible sovereignty, where the states become the real custodians, where the state becomes the real custodians of popular will. States become the real custodians of popular will. ठीक है? And overall, just when you write this, so इसमें the last में linkage between democracy and human rights is also what you can link overall. ठीक है? Democracy and human rights. Okay. Now let's come to gender justice. Open your notes on gender वाला dimension of IR. हमने अलग से लिखा हुआ है, पढ़ो. बहुत points लिखे हैं उसमें. Gender and IR. Try to recall what all have you written. I think after the post-colonial या उस perspective हमने gender and IR लिखा हुआ है पूरा. याद नहीं आ रहा किसी को? Prominent scholars बताओ चलो कौन होंगे? Angie Tickner, she gave 6 points against Morganthus 6 points. और चलो Cynthia Enloe, we've seen banana beaches, ठीक है? और Coral Cohen, sex and death, what did she say? बताओ. ठीक है? अब इसमें we had highlighted for gender and IR various points like military prostitution. बोला देखा पॉइंट? क्या क्या बताओ? सारे पॉइंट्स बताओ क्या करके, की पॉइंट्स जो हमने सारे लिखे हैं. हाँ, 4 पॉइंट्स वो लिखे हमने और उसके ऊपर भी हमने पॉइंट्स लिख रखे हैं, राइट? What are traditional roles and the issues? For example, women, children. It will always be said wars are fought for women and children. So they will brand them as vulnerable. Yes or no? We'd already seen that. And I think we've seen 3 or 4 scholars. How many? एक एंजे टिकनर है, okay, Cynthia Enloe, then Carol Cohen, that is section that 3 देखे ना हमने, 3, ठीक है. So that we have seen, and we have seen the individual roles. So main चीज क्या है? For them, the foreign policy की अगर बात करो, it is a masculinist policy, which is why in IR they say personal is political, but now they say personal is international. That also we saw. ये देख चुके हैं. Then we also saw, if you remember, UNSC resolution 1325, which talks about more primacy of women for in security. Yes or no? देखा हमने? तो वो सारा का सारा content same रहेगा अपना इसमें. Just a couple of new things which I'll just add to it. बाकी सारी चीजें हम ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं जेंडर में, इसलिए सेम न्यूक्लियर पे भी हम ऑलमोस्ट सारी चीजें देख चुके हैं. न्यूक्लियर में चलो याद करो क्या क्या देखा हमने. चलो डिबेट किसकी है? केनेथ वॉल्ट्स वर्सेस स्कॉट डी सगान. क्या डिबेट है इन दोनों की? वॉल्ट्स विल से, बताओ, कल पढ़ा है भाई, कल पढ़ा है परसों पढ़ा है? अच्छा, विच इज एन एक्सक्यूज. कल पढ़ा होता तो याद रहता, अब तो नहीं याद रहेगा. अच्छा बताओ. No, that is fine, but what is the main debate? Simple है. If you have more, one view says if the more players, if they have nuclear powers, it can lead to instability. The other view will say that if it is present more, it will lead to stability. So stability, instability हमने लिखा है, stability, instability paradox. Yes or no? That is one. Second, we saw Thomas Schelling, deterrence and the concept of nuclear deterrence. We saw Bernard Brodie, right? The power of nuclear weapons. He said the Cold War remained cold because of threat and deterrence. Yes or no? पढ़ा है हमने? ऑलमोस्ट सेम चीजें हैं. तो चलो एक बार जेंडर जस्टिस पे बाद में आते हैं. छोटा सा कुछ लास्ट के पॉइंट्स बचे हुए हैं, बाकी आई थिंक ऑलरेडी वी हैव डन. इसमें चलो वो लिख लो. Cynthia Enloe, couple of more extra points I am writing. Cynthia Enloe employs empirical method. Cynthia Enloe employs empirical method and asks where are the women? And asks where are the women? Put a question mark. Only 15 countries have women. Only 15 countries have women as top political leaders. And nearly 23% of world's parliamentarians are women. तो अब ब्रॉडर चीज है जेंडर जस्टिस. जब ये पॉइंट आपने लिखा, अभी वेरी रिसेंटली, फ्यू डेज बैक ओनली, दिस रिपोर्ट हैज बीन रिलीज्ड, वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम्स Global Gender Gap Report. That report has 4 dimensions, okay, 4 pillars. One of that is that unless women become parliamentarians, you cannot have holistic reforms. So I can link it to World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap Report. ये सारी reports आप IR में भी use कर सकते हैं, PSIR में, because topic now is gender justice. So there is an empirical method. Then write Jean L. Stein. She will talk about the economic angle. G-E-A-N, Jean, E-L-S-H, Stein, Jean L. Stein. Put a dash. Right? Women constitute half of world's population. Half of world's population. Devote 2/3 of world's working hours. बहुत strong criticism है. 2/3 get 1/10 of world's income and own 1/100th of world's property. अब ये आप जीएस में भी यूज कर सकते हो, बहुत strong critique है. Half of world's population, devote 2/3 of world's working hours, get 1/10 of world's income, and own 1/100 of words property. Just expand her view one more line. The patriarchal society has led to inverted commas, sexual division of labor between public men and private women. Okay, third is Ange Tickner. फिर से एक और point लिखेंगे. So this is the economic, this is the overall part. Third is Ange Tickner exposes gender biases in traditional theoretical frameworks. Exposes gender biases in traditional theoretical frameworks. Full stop. She's right. Full stop. She argues security establishments are led by hyper masculinist world view. Security establishments are led by hyper masculinist world view, where there is militarization of masculinity. ये सारे इन्वर्टेड कॉमर्स में जाएंगे, सब जो कीवर्ड्स हैं. मिलिटराइजेशन ऑफ मैस्कुलिनिटी. राइट, फुल स्टॉप. फिर को द वॉर रेप्स and sexual violence, the war rapes and sexual violence are systematic tactics of war. Next point, Cynthia Enloe highlights the military prostitution in South Korea by the US troops. ठीक है. These are the major perspectives overall, which is why when there is a call for gender justice, you have to talk about security angle also, economic angle also, the social angle also. इसके बाद फिर से लिखो, after this one more perspective, the post colonial perspective. Post colonial perspective which rejects the existing Eurocentric theories, full stop. They reject the women as victims. Rather, they see them as a strong force in development and poverty. Poverty alleviation. ठीक है. अब क्योंकि जेंडर जस्टिस है तो कुछ नोटेबल इंटरनेशनल declarations and movements that have happened, you should also know them. तो यहां पे लिख लो notable developments. कुछ हमने ऑलरेडी अलग अलग पार्ट्स में कर रखे हैं, जैसे जब when we did women movements in India, I talked to you about CEDAW, याद आ रहा है? CEDAW. So पहले लिखो CEDAW, Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. CEDAW. इसका ईयर बाद में लिख लेना. आई थिंक पिछले आर्टिकल में हमने ईयर लिखा था. आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिकॉल द ईयर राइट नाउ. 1977 है 79 है, चेक करना लग रही ना, इसलिए मुझे खुद भी एग्जैक्ट अभी याद नहीं आ रहा. सेकंड लिखो बीजिंग, ये सबसे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, सुना होगा बहुत बार. बीजिंग प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर एक्शन. बीजिंग प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर एक्शन. पुट अ डैश एंड अगेन it provides the women empowerment blueprint. Women empowerment blueprint. Third, we know is SDG 5, Sustainable Development Goal 5. Fourth, you can write is hashtag #MeToo movement. Fifth is UNSC 1325. 1325 in the previous, I think, part already we have done. Okay, when we are doing this part, ki gender and IR. What is 1325 about? That women should be given primacy to security relations in the security part. अच्छा चलो, एक दो और क्लासेस में हमने और भी यूएनएससी के देखे हैं रेजोल्यूशंस. नाम बताओ. 1267, what is that? Terrorism. There is also 1373, वो भी हम देख चुके हैं, याद आ रहा है? We also have done 2250, youth. 1325, काफी देखे हमने. We had done this on the topic of UN and the reforms, the effectiveness of UN. Okay, ठीक है. अब एक जो contemporary angle है in women justice etc. you will see because of Taliban. Okay, the gender justice perspective in the region of Middle East and specifically Afghanistan. Yes or no? इसको भी लिख लो. These are some of the. अच्छा ये तो अभी डेवलपमेंट हो गया. अब लिखो कंटेम्पररी इश्यूज या चैलेंजेस. उसमें वी कैन राइट अबाउट दिस. इनफैक्ट अभी रुक जाओ, कल की न्यूज है, मैं आपको बता रहा हूं कौन थे. हु वाज दिस नोबल लॉरिएट फ्रॉम ईरान. तो अभी कल की न्यूज है. तो देवर आर्टिकल्स दैट नाउ शी इज गेटिंग डेथ थ्रेट्स. सो शी इज डन. रुक जाओ, मैं आपको जस्ट बता रहा हूं, एक सेकंड दो. कल ही आए इसलिए मुझे याद आ रहा है. तो कल आई हैड रेड इट एंड आर्टिकल अगेन, वो भी लिंक कर सकते हो जेंडर जस्टिस से भी. हाँ हाँ हाँ, तो दैट आर्टिकल वाज देयर. अगेन फेसिंग द थ्रेट टू लाइफ. चलो लेट्स कम बैक. उसको सबसे रिसेंट में ऐड कर देंगे. कंटेम्पररी में कुछ पॉइंट्स लिख लो. नंबर 1 इज दिस अफगानिस्तान या अफगान वुमेन अंडर तालिबान विद डैश करके इरोजन ऑफ ऑल बेसिक जेंडर राइट्स. इरोजन ऑफ ऑल बेसिक जेंडर राइट्स. सेकेंड, ईरान हिजाब प्रोटेस्ट्स. Although hijab protests also happen in France, but that is again a different issue. Secularism की debate है, positive and negative secularism. So Iran hijab हो गया. And third is then this अभी जो example है from Iran only because Iran is in the news. The Nobel laureate who has done a lot of work for women but now again facing threats. And last overall, please write, is the UN Women Report 2024. The UN Women Report 2024. Dash करके देखो AI, fourth industrial revolution. AI, fourth industrial revolution and digital economy. Digital economy increasing gender pay gap. increasing gender pay gap. So when let's say you get a question on contemporary aspects of gender justice, all the new dimensions like this should be also incorporated because of AI, etc. Right? Digital economy, fourth industrial revolution. How the jobs are imagined, that is one. ठीक है? इसमें एक और point है, which is a point बहुत time से आप पढ़ रहे हो. The care economy has not been monetized. Right? In fact, अगर हम अमर्त्य सेन की बात करें, मार्था नुसबॉम की बात करें, they also talk about how care economy should be monetized. Because then it becomes unpaid invisible labor. So some topics that you read in GS also, same women issues contemporary can also come in this topic. ठीक है? Care economy, which is unmonetized, invisible work, etc. Because gender justice, अब आप जो देखोगे gender justice, first of all, gender justice you have to think from the military security angle, foreign policy angle. Gender justice is also how patriarchy not just impacts women in the homes, in the nation, but also internationally. Right? Why? Because ये देखा हमने empirical issues क्या देखे हमने, सबसे पहला point था empirical. किसने दिया था empirical data? Cynthia Enloe, I think. What about what? हाँ, parliamentarians से लेकर हर एक issue. Similar thing we also saw for Anne J. Tickner, giving a very hard, realist critique and security related work. Fine. World Economic Forum पे then you had Jean Elstein. Okay, that is there. And in the previous write-up we had seen Carol Cohen, Sex and Death and etc. That is also something we had mentioned. Okay. Now let's come to terrorism. ठीक है? Terrorism किसके लिए? नहीं, जेंडर जस्टिस में डिपेंड करेगा टोन ऑफ द क्वेश्चन, लेट्स से. ओके, सो जेंडर जस्टिस में अगेन द इशू इज नाउ बीइंग लुक्ड फ्रॉम बोथ एनालिटिकल as well as an empirical lens to provide, let's say, to provide solutions to prevailing systemic issues. So that will depend. जैसे एक बार यूपीएससी ने क्वेश्चन इसमें पूछा हुआ है 1325. Sometimes the question is purely on gender justice. अगर broad question है. So using the framework of some of these thinkers, अगर सिर्फ जेंडर जस्टिस पे होगा तब आप ये नहीं बोल सकते. अगर क्वेश्चन है द फेमिनिस्ट अप्रोच टू आईआर, then the conclusion is there are multiple approaches to IR and no single approach can give you a perfect understanding. If the question is specifically on gender justice, so in the body part we would have given so many issues, so वहां पे आप बता सकते हो कि that how state actors, non-state actors या overall proper collaboration can happen to achieve gender justice and whatever has happened उससे पहले वो आप लिख सकते हो. हाँ, some change is possible that they are slightly adopting the democratic regime etc. वो examples etc. आप लिख सकते हो और वो इंडिया के केस में बहुत examples हैं. इसलिए ना ये this topic has multiple linkages. That is how you will do that. Fine. Now let's come to terrorism. Okay. अभी तो टाइम है ना, आप लोग अभी बैठ पाओगे? हाँ, बिकॉज वी कैन देन कंप्लीट ऑल दीज 3 टॉपिक्स इफ यू वांट अलाउ. हाँ, अच्छा, ओके, रुक जाओ, नहीं तो व्हाट कैन बी द वे आउट, अदरवाइज देन वी हैव टू डू इट आफ्टर दिस 2-3 days ब्रेक. नहीं, ये तो थोड़ा बड़ा टॉपिक है. हाँ, नहीं, नेक्स्ट करें, चलो ठीक है. बिकॉज अभी आई नो इट इज 22 फ्रॉम 5 देयर इज अ न्यू टेस्ट दैट इज सपोज टू स्टार्ट, तो विद टेररिज्म उसमें हो भी नहीं पाएगा. ठीक है, चलो ठीक है, बाद में देख लेते हैं बाकी वाला पार्ट जो है, लास्ट के 2-3 पार्ट्स बच रहे हैं. सो वी एंड इट हियर. पीपल ऑनलाइन ऑल्सो जो भी देख रहे हैं अभी के लिए जो पार्ट्स पे फॉलो इट. अब देखो, जस्ट आई विल गिव यू एन ओवरव्यू लास्ट के ये, because when I do terrorism I think मैं पूरा, because I also teach internal security, I bring a lot of dimensions, so कोई tough question भी होगा आप कर लोगे. अब देखो, इसमें ये पार्ट हम ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं, न्यूक्लियर थ्रेट इन अ लॉट ऑफ डिटेल, इसमें कुछ नया ऐड नहीं करना. हमने सारी डॉक्ट्रिन्स पढ़ ली हैं, INF USA withdrawal from INF, etc., INF treaty. We've also seen the new rise of tactical nukes, ICBMs, etc. This part is sorted. On environment front, we've already done environmental movements, that's it. ठीक, जिसमें हमने क्या देखा था, कंपेयर किया था environment movements in India versus the world, work of Ramchand Guha, Madhav Gadgil, Vandana Shiva, etc. we had seen. अब हम देखेंगे overall environment movements also. ठीक है, अब इसमें ये भी हो सकता है, if I find time today I might record these 3 portions and send it to you as a video, otherwise नहीं तो हम क्लास में कर लेंगे. ठीक है, नहीं अभी, बिकॉज फ्रॉम 5 अ क्लास हैज टू स्टार्ट हियर. हाँ, कल लेट्स सी, कल ट्राई करते हैं. हाँ, 1.5 आवर्स में तो हो सकता है, बट लेट्स सी द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ हैविंग अ क्लास टुमारो, बिकॉज देन टुमारो टेस्ट एंड एक्सेट्रा वो होते हैं, सेंटर बहुत बार अवेलेबल नहीं होता. ठीक है, नहीं चलो मैं देखता हूँ, आई विल सी. ऑफ कोर्स मेरे पास तो ऑप्शन है ही कि आप अगली बार क्लास में आओगे तो क्लास में तो हो ही सकता है, बट लेट्स से कुछ लोग चाह रहे नहीं आज ही खत्म हो. मैं भी सोचा था आई एंड इट टुडे इटसेल्फ, but I think some of these topics require elaboration also. Okay, ठीक है. This we have done. Only these two actually remain: terrorism and environment. Okay, so वो हम करते हैं. ठीक है. Now we'll meet in the next class then. Okay. Tomorrow and day after is going to be off. ठीक है. Okay.